What if I told you there's a man who's 78 years old, yet many people, upon first meeting him, guess he's much younger? His name is Vikram Yadav, and he's 78, but he doesn't seem resigned to old age. He doesn't dwell on the past, he doesn't complain about age or repeat the phrase, "At my age, it's too late." On the contrary, he remains active, energetic, inquisitive, and continues to live as if there's still so much more to come. The most interesting thing is that his habits are accessible to almost everyone. No secret drugs, no expensive procedures, and no miracle cures. Just a lifestyle that gradually helps the body and brain age much more slowly. And if you watch this video to the end, you'll realize that many things that truly affect youthfulness are often underestimated. It's going to be very interesting and useful, so let's get started. When we think of aging, most of us imagine wrinkles, decreased energy, and declining health. But in reality, aging doesn't begin with appearance. It begins the moment a person stops moving forward. That's why one of Vikram Yadav's most important habits is constant activity. He doesn't view movement as a punishment or a necessity. For him, movement is a natural part of life. Many people make the mistake of thinking that exercise is only for the young. However, research shows that physical activity remains one of the most powerful factors for longevity, even after 60, 70, and 80 years. When a person moves regularly, muscles receive a signal to maintain strength, the heart works more efficiently, blood vessels remain more elastic, and the brain receives better blood flow. In practice, this means more energy, better memory, and a higher quality of life. Another characteristic of Vikram Yadav's lifestyle is spending a lot of time outdoors. Modern people spend a significant portion of their lives indoors, whether at home, in the car, at the office, or in the shopping mall. We can go for days without seeing nature. But the human body developed in completely different conditions. Fresh air affects more than just the lungs. Being outdoors, especially among greenery, reduces anxiety, improves mood, normalizes blood pressure, and reduces chronic stress. Moreover, walks in the fresh air help maintain the body's natural biological rhythms. There's an interesting observation. Many centenarians around the world, even unaware of modern health theories, spend a significant portion of their day outdoors. They walk, garden, stroll, and socialize outdoors. Their lifestyle forces their bodies to move naturally. However, physical health is only part of the story. Many people look older than their age, not because of age, but because of chronic stress. And here we come to another important principle of Vikram Yadav's. He doesn't let stress rule his life. It's important to understand that stress itself is not the enemy. The problem arises when a person lives in a state of constant tension for months and years. In this state, the body begins to use up resources much more quickly. Stress hormone levels rise, sleep deteriorates, inflammation accelerates, and immunity weakens. Another secret to his youth is related to his mindset. Vikram Yadav remains optimistic. And this isn't about a naive view of the world or a constant fake smile. True optimism is the ability to see opportunities even when circumstances aren't ideal. People with an optimistic outlook on life recover more quickly from difficulties, cope better with stress, and are less likely to fall into a state of helplessness. When a person believes that a situation can improve, they continue to act. And action always creates new opportunities. Interestingly, negative thinking affects more than just mood. It also impacts behavior. Pessimists are more likely to avoid physical activity, take poor care of their health, and lose interest in self-improvement more quickly. Therefore, over time, the difference between an optimist and a pessimist becomes noticeable, even outwardly. But perhaps Vikram Yadav's most underrated principle is that he never stops learning new things. Many people begin to gradually reduce their intellectual activity after retirement. They stop challenging themselves, stop mastering new skills, and move less and less beyond their usual boundaries. The problem is that the brain only develops when faced with new challenges. When we learn something new neural connections are formed. The brain literally rewires itself and becomes more flexible. It doesn't matter what exactly you're learning: a new language, a computer program, a musical instrument, gardening, history, photography, or cooking. It's important to constantly challenge the brain to learn. This helps maintain clarity of thought and a high level of cognitive ability even in old age. Finally, one of Vikram Yadav's wisest habits is accepting your age. At first glance, this may seem like a strange secret to staying young, but it has a profound meaning. Many people wage an internal war with time. They constantly think about how many years have passed, compare themselves to younger people, and perceive age as a defeat. This attitude creates constant emotional stress. Vikram Yadav chooses a different path. He embraces his age, but he doesn't let it define his capabilities. These are fundamentally different things. Embracing age doesn't mean giving up. It means stopping wasting energy fighting the inevitable and focusing it on what can truly be improved. Looking at all of Vikram Yadav's habits together, it becomes clear there's no magic secret. He moves. He spends time outdoors. He doesn't let stress control him. He maintains an optimistic outlook. He constantly learns new things. And he embraces his age without turning it into a limitation. The most important thing is that these principles don't take decades to work. The first changes can be noticed much earlier. Perhaps the true secret to youth isn't looking younger than your age. Perhaps it lies in maintaining a zest for life, the ability to move forward, and the desire to wake up in the morning with a sense that there's still so much good ahead. And if Vikram Yadav's story teaches us anything, it's this: age is inevitable, but how we live, it largely depends on us. Age is not the number of years you have lived, but a state of mind. You can be afraid of change at the age of 20 and live out of habit, or you can start new projects, travel, and learn something new at 60. Friends, what do you think of this man? Write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful to you, then please like it and share the link with those who might find it particularly useful. We also recommend watching this video that's currently appearing on your screen.